After I got ready in the morning, I came back home from work and started working on the artwork when it was a little bit darker outside. For this side camera shot, I was actually using what I use as my webcam for live streams that I haven't been doing lately. The Lumix G7 or Panasonic Lumix G7, I think it's called. It's interesting because the way it records in like batches, so like segments. And I don't really like that. I don't really like setting it up either because it can only record for X amount of time too. It's just a hassle, honestly speaking. Like, I prefer to use my phone, but sometimes I'd rather be using my phone whilst I'm drawing to do other things too. So it's like a catch-22. Do I want to use a my DSLR, or do I want to not use my phone? Probably gonna use my phone in the future, or get like a action cam or something like that, possibly just to use as like a side cam or like a top-down view cam or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out in the future together. Due to work eating up so much of my time when I'm drawing, I actually feel like I am actually doing something that I've always been wanting to do, which is create art, which has always been true. It's just such a nice break, something that you truly care about. I like the people that I work with, but I don't really truly care about that job. So working on something that you truly care about and taking your time to progress and get the skills in is just always nice. And it's something that I believe is that everyone should have at least one hobby that they really enjoy and take some out of that situation or environment that isn't necessarily progressing them or is just a means to an end. And speaking of ends, let's end that conversation right there and actually talk about the artwork and what I'm doing in the artwork. So we are getting ever so closer to actually finishing off this piece. Right now, I'm currently working on the teeth. I wanted the teeth to have a little bit of texture and more shine to it. The teeth already had texture to begin with, but I wanted to add the blue light shine to it, so it made a little bit more sense. And on the other side, add the red light shine to it, just so it still coincides with the piece overall. It just gives a little bit more oomph and pop to it, or rather should I say cohesion to it. One of the things that I tried is actually adding right around like the gums area, or quote unquote the gums of where the teeth would be, just to give it a little bit more of a realistic take. But I actually wound up not really liking that all that much and decided to just disregard it. It just looked kind of weird to me. The red kind of stood out way too much in comparison to how the overall shading and coloring was done on the piece already. So I just decided to axe that idea and move on from it. I did go back in and actually add the lighting on the tongue though. I still have to do the little drip area of the tongue or the saliva, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I did also start beginning to experiment with things in the foreground and in the background. For the foreground, I was thinking of having like leaves fall or like feathers fall from the sky or something like that, just to have a little bit more depth to the piece, but I'm not entirely sure yet. I am leaning more on like the leaves type of idea or situation, something in front of it just to give it a little bit more depth. But for the background, I am still unsure. I'm kind of leaning towards to actually having a portal in the background, but I don't know if that would be too bright or whatnot. Yada yada yada. It's all things I have to think about to make the cohesion of this piece come together and make it a masterpiece, or a piece that someone wants to buy. Alright, so I got a lot of the teeth done. All the teeth done, like the shine and stuff in the teeth. I got that all sorted out. I'm happy with that. I just need to do the nails and like the saliva dripping off, and then we should be good. But before that, I started actually messing with some background stuff. So I'll have the background, because the nails aren't colored and the background's showing through, but have the background be the same lighting tone effect. But I kind of want to make it a portal or something, so the light is coming from the portal. So I'm gonna probably mess around with that and see how that turns out. Hopefully it turns out well, but I should probably work on the nails and the saliva first before I do that. So yeah, let me get that done. Here I'm actually getting out of my comfort zone in filming in public. I'm sitting at a restaurant, or a fast, quick, mid-tier restaurant. I don't fucking know what they're called. But at a restaurant, the audio is actually muted because it was blasting music the entire time. I didn't really know because I had my headphones in that entire time, but it was blasting music. But there was a cool transition of me, the camera falling over naturally, and then me grabbing a piece of bread out of the bag to eat. I needed a printer, so I'm about to order a printer. Well, let's get the printer, I guess. Hey, money out there. So I have a side project that I'm gonna work on in mind. My wall behind me, don't mind it. It's a whirlwind went through it, but this wall with the pictures on it, I want to actually do a color, a greenish color. It's not in focus. A green color on these walls, and I might try doing like the marbling technique because I seen that recently. It's like, that looks pretty interesting. So we'll see. We'll see how this turns out And I'm gonna go to other stores to see what color paints they have too, like shades of green and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure I want the marble effect on this wall. So I took a picture of the room, did the color dropper, and then I wanted to see the basic overall, like the color, how it would look and everything. So this would be the one of the greens that are currently there, and then this one would be the other green that is like a weird type of color. And then I went online and found some other shades of green that other stores sell, just to have the overall look that I'm trying to go for, just to see what it looks like in the room. I'm not sure yet. I gotta see the actual samples in person and see how they shine and everything. But again, I do want to do the marbled effect, so hopefully I do that. I never thought in a million years I'd be excited for something like this. I actually got something cool, something really cool. I got a clock, one of those ones that, like, as the time goes by, it like flips down. This is so cool. So I got it for 2 different purposes. One, just to tell the time for me, because I don't have a clock in my room and I have to say the word for the activation of the voice thingies. And then I just want to be able to glance over and look at what time it is. And then for like videos. So for passages of time, I can have a real thing here and just like have, eventually I want to get like one of those arms so that I could go like in and out at a certain time and just have it slowly pan as the clock numbers are going by. It'll just be cool shots and stuff like that. But I'm glad I got this. So the clock is pretty cool. I really like how it turned out, or how it is. I have this on my face because I like washed my face and then damaged my skin, but whatever. I like how this clock turns out. It's something I want to have for a while now. Physical clock. Because I don't want to use a voice assistant every time just to tell the time or have to look at my phone. I could just look up from the bed and see the clock. So yeah. And it would be cool for time lapse and stuff like that. Mini update, I am happy with this clock. It is kind of loud though, so if you are looking for something more quiet, don't get this clock, but it is a cool clock. The timing is like either 2 seconds ahead or 2 seconds behind, or 3 seconds ahead and 3 seconds behind, and then sometimes it's literally perfect on time. So it's not like the perfect clock, but it is relatively close. So yeah, if you want one of them, just be aware that you will hear clicking in the middle of the night. I sleep with noise canceling headphones, so it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, I really like this clock. Link will be down below in the description if you want to see what I purchased or everything that I purchased in the video. All right, yeah. So I just realized I never actually showed you guys that I did do the nails. I really like how the nails turn out. They're kind of the same colorish as the teeth. I did the red at the bottom. Oop, if it would focus. At the bottom of the nail, so it's like stained and everything, but kind of the same colorish as the teeth, just to go with the overall color palette. I really like how they turned out. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to do the background. So I'm thinking of making like a portal in the background or something like that, or just doing the colors or something in the background, the same as the colors that are shining on them, or even the foreground stuff, having like the leaves falling or having it as feathers instead of leaves. I'm not entirely sure yet, but once I come to that conclusion, you guys will find out. Yeah, it's because it's coming so close to being finished that I just gotta do the background and possibly the foreground, and then it's finished. And by that time, I should have my printer also here. So I'm really looking forward to that and seeing how like the colors turn out when I print it out on a piece. But yeah, things to think about. I had forgot to do an outro, so I would like to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, Happy New Year's. And I'll see you later. Peace. Bye-bye.